Sand is an upcoming open world survival game that is really giving us the Last Oasis vibes. Now, I know so many of you absolutely loved the concept of Last Oasis, but unfortunately the game just kind of didn't hit the right chord and ended up dying off. However, we do have hope for this new game on the horizon, which is called Sand. And in this video, I'm going to tell you whether this game actually deserves your hype or it belongs in the waste pipe. Now, when I first saw this trailer, Sand instantly reminded me of this movie called Mortal Engines. Now, I'm guessing most of you have seen it. If you haven't, I absolutely highly recommend it, especially if you're going to start to get excited for this upcoming game. Sand is set in an alternate history version of 1910, where humanity made a significant advancement in space exploration, but after an ecological disaster struck planet Sophie, humanity had to leave the planet. But this is where the game is set, on planet Sophie. So on planet Sophie, those that are left seek to test their fate and uncover the riches of the barren wastelands. This is where we will be PvPing. Now, we knew them as walkers, but in Sand, they call them tramplers. Tramplers essentially are your main base, which acts as a means to explore the planet, store your loot, and fight from. Now, it does look like we'll be able to fully customize these tramplers, and some of them actually look pretty damn big. Then there is this FPS element to the game. All the screenshots that we can see are players with guns, and it looks like you can explore cities. Maybe there's NPCs in there, maybe they're completely abandoned, but we are going to assume that these places will be where you can find your riches. Maybe there's loot, maybe there's resources to build up your tramplers. Not sure how we're going to build the tramplers. Maybe there's blueprints, maybe it's fully customizable. Not quite sure on this yet, but excited to see more information here. But we're going to assume that there will be places around the planet where we can go and explore and probably come across some other players, which we hope will end up in some epic PvP. Now, for you MMO enjoyers out there, I don't have much information just yet. We have reached out to them. We are excited to find some more information, but unfortunately at the moment we don't have any information on server sizes or clan sizes, but we are going to assume that you're going to get this Last Oasis Mortal Engine feel where you can team up with, you know, ultimately as many people as you want, obviously with the most, or the strongest clans, the strongest players being the most dominant. However, as we know from Last Oasis, this did genuinely make for some extremely fun PvP. Taking on larger groups, taking on smaller groups, you know, this unknowingness of how many people you were going to be against or what size tramplers you were going to be fighting actually made for some, you know, good excitement within the game. Now, the one thing that happened with Last Oasis is that there didn't seem to be a big PvEVP element there, and it was just all-out full loot PvP. Now, as we know, full loot PvP can be pretty brutal for a lot of players, and me included. So it'd be really lovely to try and find or see them branch between this PvE and PvP elements. So, you know, if you do lose everything, you know, you still have that incentive to rebuild because you know it's not going to maybe take too long or something along those lines. Not sure exactly how they could do it, but we really hope that they look into that because, you know, keeping a healthy population in games like this is extremely important. So you're constantly meeting new enemies, new tramplers, and don't have the same experience fighting the same people again, which is ultimately what happened to Last Oasis. Very, very excited. Anyway, so does this game deserve your hype? In short, yes, this game does deserve our hype. However, we're going to call this one cautious hype. You know, let's go into this game. Let's wishlist this game knowing that we need to be cautious around this because we saw how quickly Last Oasis died off. We've seen the exact same model and it absolutely failed miserably, let's be honest. So let's hope that the devs can find a great balance between the PvE and the PvP and this way to allow people to gear up and continue to have fun. Anyway, I'm extremely excited for Sand. We are going to be covering it more often. I love the idea of it. I love the concept of Last Oasis, especially with June and, you know, all sand happening at the moment. Maybe we'll see a sandworm in there as well. Anyway, leave a like, leave a subscribe. We will be following this game closely and I'll keep you updated with any more information.